Please put me downstairs. I need something.
How did that happen?
On my 600-pound life, the journey to recovery is never easy, but sometimes it's pure chaos. From explosive arguments and walkouts to shocking betrayals and total breakdowns, these moments pushed everything and everyone to the edge. Here are the most chaotic moments that turned my 600-pound life into something no one could have predicted. This is Crystal's story. Crystal has gotten to a place in her life where she feels like her whole body is falling apart and there's nothing she can do about it. Sadly, the only thing that helps her cope with the pains and struggles of her life is food. She is 39 years old and she has no clue what her weight is. Trust me when I say that life is not one that you would wish your enemy to have. Does she still stand a chance to get better? Let's find out. This is how Crystal's story begins.
But it's not just my lungs. At this point, it just feels like my whole body's falling apart. I mean, look at me. I sleep with a CPAP machine. I have high blood pressure. I have congestive heart failure.
Honestly, I'm just glad Crystal has 2 kids that get to keep her company. Living like this can be very depressing, and it's good that she has company that requires her to move around very often. Crystal's weight has put so much pressure on her kidney that she has to rely on oxygen every single second of the day. Getting out of bed is her worst nightmare because her legs get to feel the weight of her body, and that's just too much pain for her to handle.
But I do feel guilty about what I eat and what it does to my family. I know they don't judge me. My children and my family understand the full-on struggle. My kids live it with me every day, but they shouldn't be having to do any of this.
You heard it from Crystal's mouth. It sucks having to live life in such a way. But she is not wrong when she says that people don't understand how hard it is to live life the way she does. She does not deny the fact that she allowed food to make her the way she is, but she also didn't choose to be this way. She admits that she has a disease. But what made her this way is the same thing that brings her peace and happiness when she feels sad about her weight.
As I got a little older, food got more important to me because of stuff that happened to me. When I was 8, my mom started dating someone, and a year later, when I was 9 years old, my mom got married.
Now that explains why she started to see food as a way to deal with things. Her mom got married when she was 8 years old. Shortly after Crystal and her mother moved to stay with her new stepdad and his kids, she was molested by a family member. It was so bad that she couldn't even tell her mother about it, and in the end, she saw food as a way to deal with the pain and trauma that she was going through.
My weight just ballooned up. And by the time I started high school, when I was 14, I was around 300 pounds. The whole molestation thing screwed up my life a lot.
Man, that is just so awful. Looks like Crystal was not able to get over the fact that she was molested when she was little. I mean, does anyone actually get over something like that? I doubt that. It left a scar in her heart that followed her for years. Even when she dated guys, they never really wanted to love her. All they wanted was to have sex, and that's basically what her life has been like ever since. I think you can understand why food is her only friend.
With me until after we had our second daughter, Tatiana, when I was 27. He'd hit harder and harder each time, and then he'd beat me for longer, and then one day he was literally beating me to death. And
going to jail for a few weeks and getting a restraining order does not feel like enough punishment for what he did to Crystal and her kids. Crystal initially had a boyfriend who was very abusive. She broke up with him and met the father of her kids. Their relationship started off as an amazing one. That changed when she gave birth to her second child, and her boyfriend would beat her till she was almost dying. Luckily for her, she was able to escape, and she reported the situation to the police.
That if I don't make the changes, that my children, they'll give up on me, and my biggest fear is dying. I'm afraid my kids will have to go on without me. I'm afraid of what it's gonna do to them.
I think it's safe to say that Crystal is about to move in the right direction as regards her health. Crystal is afraid that if she does not make the changes she needs to make right now, her children might give up on her, and her biggest fear would be waking up to see that she is no longer alive. Looks like the fear of losing her kids is going to be her motivation to get things straight and begin her weight loss journey.
Plan of action, then this.
Yeah,
But
well, I mean, it is what it is, so.
the time schedule now is completely thrown. It's like, what, already 2?
Well, I need a break. You guys knew about this, and you're making me work 10 times harder, so.
Well, he is clearly pissed. Crystal agreed to head down to Houston to meet with Dr. Now with the help of her brother. Now here's where things get very chaotic. Her brother, who is helping her move her things, sees the way Crystal and her daughter have been living, and it just upsets him because he didn't know it was so bad. What's worse is that they had a deadline, and they've failed to meet that because Crystal is not doing things as fast as she should.
So I'm worried, very worried, to be doing this. Can't walk in without the tank. Oh! Nope, 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 nope.
I'm not gonna lie, that was actually scary. For a second there, I thought she was going to fall down. Apparently, Crystal is very scared of elevators, and she needs an elevator to get to her room. She tries to get into one and almost falls down in the process. Right now, all she wants to do is get some rest because the journey down to the hotel has not been an easy one. Can Crystal's body take any more of the pain she's going through?
So,
My best friend's away, okay? No pastas.
yes, no pasta, because the focus is going to be on protein, okay?
Okay.
And then, on top of that, I'm going to give you a copy of my book that has...
Looks like the ball is in her court. Crystal finally made it to the hospital after such a stressful journey. She hopped on the scale, and it showed that she weighed 611 pounds. She meets with the doc, and he tells her that she has to stop eating a lot of things. Her goal right now is to lose 60 pounds in 2 months and start breathing without the oxygen tank. That's the only way she's going to get approved for weight loss surgery.
Other things to do than to dwell on something that happened 20 years ago.
Crystal, I think that if you talk to your brother about the situation, it could establish the fact that you're important and that your story needs to be told.
Therapy was not such a bad idea after all. Part of Crystal's requirements to lose weight was to go to therapy and talk about the issues and traumas that she faced while growing up. She made the appointment with the therapist, and they were able to talk about quite a lot of things. She assures the therapist that she is now over those things, and all she wants to do is focus on losing weight so she can be there for her kids.
At my last appointment, I was 611 pounds. And Dr. Now gave me the goal to lose 60 pounds in over 2 months. So if I succeeded, then that means I'm gonna be...
Now, that's not good. She definitely has a long way to go. Crystal had 2 months to lose 60 pounds and drop her oxygen tank. This is her second appointment with Dr. Now, and all she has been able to lose is 9 pounds. I mean, she did make some progress, but it's not enough to get her approved for weight loss surgery. Well, let's see if Dr. Now is going to have a different look at her situation and the progress she has made.
It was hard, but I do think it helped me in a lot of ways. So I think it was good.
Okay, because that's going to be important for your emotional well-being and to help you in the long run, okay?
Yes, I'm gonna keep doing that.
All right, your goal is the same.
That went pretty well. For a second there, I thought the doc was going to be furious with the little progress that she made. The doc tells her that she doesn't have a lot of time and she needs to lose weight as soon as possible. Her goal is the same, and she needs to lose 60 pounds within the next 2 weeks. She tells the doc that she can lose the weight. Let's see if she can do just that.
Until you feel you don't need it anymore. And we're going to do some tests on you today and do an EKG and chest x-ray to see how your lungs are doing. And as soon as they're strong enough, we can do your weight loss surgery. You think you can do that?
This is Carrie's story. Carrie feels humiliated by the fact that her husband has to help her every single day just to have her bathe. She is 37 years old and she is way over 600 pounds. She hates the fact that she has to depend on her husband to do almost everything for her. Every day, she wishes that she did not allow her weight to get to the level it currently is. Do you think she has any chance of getting better? I guess we'll find out. This is how her story begins.
Because I don't have anyone else except my daughter Haley, but I refuse to let Haley help me, so it all falls on Chris.
I'm just glad that she doesn't have to go through all this pain by herself. She might not like the fact that her husband helps her in the bathroom, but she can't deny the fact that she needs him. Her husband sees that Carrie struggles with weight, and on most days, she is too exhausted to do anything by herself. He helps her because he loves her and can't stand to see her in pain. That has to be the sweetest thing ever.
Through the pain to an extent, and I've processed a little bit of my morning, then I start thinking about food would make this complete. I'm finishing here and I'll be right back.
Okay, if you need me, call me.
Now that's not good. Carrie's husband sees himself as an enabler. He is the one that gets to prepare Carrie's meals anytime she is hungry. Food is the only thing that makes her happy, and he wants his wife to always be happy. He knows that the food is killing her, but he does not know any other way to make her happy. aside from giving her the food she tells him she is craving. Phew, that is one horrible dynamic.
Get from my parents because they did pay more attention to my brother. My mother did clearly have a favorite, and it was Cody. It was not me. And so food was definitely a way for me to cope with that. So I started gaining, and I hit 100 pounds when I was 8. And as I got bigger,
As a daughter, struggling to get approval and validation from a mother is one of the most heartbreaking things. Carrie's parents were overweight, and that's because they ate a lot. The love for food has been in her family for a very long time. Carrie had a brother, and the love and attention she used to get from her parents shifted to her brother. To make things even worse, Carrie's mom used to be a cheerleader, and her mom was disappointed that Carrie was never going to fit into her shoes because of how much she weighed at a young age.
himself already surpassed the 500-pound mark. Physician told him that he wouldn't live for another year if he didn't have weight loss surgery. Went in for the gastric bypass. Fine through the surgery initially, but
That had to have been the worst thing to ever happen to Carrie. As she mentioned earlier, both of her parents were overweight. Her dad's condition got really bad, and the doctors told him that he had to get weight loss surgery done or he was not going to see the next year. He did get the surgery, but 24 hours after everything seemed fine, he passed away.
late in my 30s, and I was even able to get pregnant. So we were 2 miscarriages when I was 36. They discovered on an ultrasound that it had a mass, have a complete hysterectomy.
Carrie didn't have time to mourn the death of her dad because her daughter was born the same month that he passed away. The trauma just doesn't end. It just keeps going from bad to worse. Carrie and her husband wanted to have a family of their own. Carrie was told that she had to lose weight in order for that to happen. She lost some weight, but had 2 miscarriages, and that just sent her world into a state of depression. Her weight was the reason for the miscarriages, and she dealt with it by doing what she does best.
Me and Chris are gonna try to go to Houston today to see Dr. Now. But I'm concerned about how I'm gonna be able to handle that. 9 years, the longest I've been in the car is 5 or 10 minutes.
You can already tell that this trip is not going to be a walk in the park for Carrie. She has decided to put a stop to her eating disorder and is ready to make things right. She wants to head down to Houston to see the doc, but here's where the problem is. The longest Carrie has been in a car is 10 minutes, and that's when she's driving to work. The trip down to the hospital is a 2-hour drive, and she is worried that her body won't be able to handle the stress.
Carrie?
Hopefully my weight's around 600, but I've been avoiding the scale for a while. I wanna see how high the number is now.
I guess we know why she's been avoiding the scale for quite some time now. Carrie made it to the hospital, and I must say it was not an easy trip. She gets to the hospital and hops on the scale to check her weight. She was very anxious to check her weight because she thought she would be weighing a lot. The scale then reads that she weighs 602 pounds, and that makes her skip for a second. Let's see what the doc thinks about her weight.
Yes, I can.
How about you, Chris?
Yes, sir. I can.
And then here's the diet that I start reading this book, so we'll help him get more information and that.
Well, that was an interesting conversation. Seems like Carrie is excited to lose weight. She met up with the dog and had quite an illuminating conversation with him. The doc gives her his book and tells her that he needs her to lose 60 pounds within the next 2 months. He also tells her husband that she needs him to help her lose weight and stop enabling her the way he used to. Carrie assures Dr. Now that she can do it. Let's see if that's going to happen.
I think the only thing I'm more concerned about is disappointing him because he seems a lot of faith in his patients. About it, this is a man who puts.
And that's honestly the type of motivation she needs to get through her weight loss journey. It's been a week since she saw Dr. Now, and she has made so many changes to her eating habits. The type of food she eats now is very healthy, and it doesn't have as many calories as it used to. Carrie is worried that she might slack up along the way, but she seems pretty determined to hit the weight loss goal that Dr. Now gave her.
And I'm worried about how that's gonna affect my weigh-in because every pound is gonna count for me. In my last appointment a couple of months ago, I was at 602. Now gave me to lose was 60 pounds.
Now, that's not good, and you can see it on both their faces. Carrie and her husband are at the hospital for their second appointment with the doc. Carrie was supposed to lose 60 pounds before this meeting, and she lost just 12 pounds. She hoped that her husband would have lost some weight as well. He hops on the scale, and sadly, he also lost just 12 pounds. You can tell that's not the progress they were hoping to make.
Some counseling,
You think counseling is going to help you?
maybe.
Okay.
I'm willing to try.
Okay, so maybe they can help you wake up. But I also want Chris to go with, so you both can work on the issues together.
Well, that went very well. As you would expect, the doc gave them some scolding and asked them why they didn't meet their weight loss goal. He then gives them the same goal and tells them that they need to meet their goal before their next appointment at the hospital. This is another chance for Carrie to prove that she is ready to have her weight loss surgery.
Do you know how dangerous that is? It means that she needs to be unwell. She needs to be disabled for you to have a role in her life. Illness is based on her decline.
Therapy session seems to have gone pretty well. The doc noticed that Carrie and her husband still have a food dynamic where Carrie's husband can't seem to tell her no whenever she wants to eat food that's not healthy for her. So they went to therapy to talk about the issue, and it looks like the therapist was able to make Carrie understand that no doesn't mean he doesn't love her, but that he wants what's best for her.
556. And the goal Dr. Now gave me to lose was 60 pounds. So that means today I'm supposed to be at 496. Whew, excited. That's even better.
Good job. So proud of you.
Look at these guys making me so happy. It's good to see that all the effort that they put into their weight loss journey has finally paid off. Cassie has finally been able to lose the weight that the doc wanted her to lose, and you can see how happy she is for meeting her goal. Her husband has also been able to lose a pretty decent amount of weight. Now, let's see what the doc thinks about their progress and if Carrie is going to be approved for weight loss surgery.
On track. And Carrie, because you made good progress, I'm going to go ahead and approve you for weight loss surgery.
All right.
But I want to stay on the track, so I'm going to schedule you for weight loss surgery in a month.
This weight loss journey is about a brother and a sister who struggle with their weight. Their life is basically the same thing. They have made food their best friend, and now they regret how big they have become. Carlton and Chantel hate their mornings because it's the worst part of their day. Can Dr. Now save these siblings? Who knows? This is how their weight loss journey begins.
When Cash has to do these things for me, I feel disgusted with myself. Because he has to be here to always take care of me instead of living life. But everything's a big chore for me now, and doing anything where I have to move around much.
That has to be tough. Carlton does not find it easy when he tries to clean his body every morning. His body starts to ache and he runs out of breath, so he has to be as fast as he can when he cleans himself up. He finds it difficult to do so many things, and he has to rely on his kid brother to help him out most of the time. Carlton hates that his brother has to do it, but he doesn't have much of a choice.
For them. When I need so much help, just take care of myself. After Michael takes our kids to school, he goes and gets me and Carlton something to eat while I try to get up and get dressed. But it's almost too much for me. Carrying around this weight hurts more than...
It doesn't look like Chantel's condition is any better. She lives in her mother's house with her husband, her 3 kids, and Carlton. She pretty much can't do anything for herself, and it breaks her heart to see her husband do all the work. Anytime she stands up, it feels like she is being stabbed with 1,000 knives in her feet. She spends most of the time on the 2nd floor of the house because going down the stairs is almost impossible.
I really try my best to hide it from my brother. And when my dad got angry, I would put my brother in the room and I would turn the music on, and then I would go and get something for us to snack on.
But when things got really bad and my dad was doing what he did.
Seems like food has been a major role in their life since they were little. Carlton and Chantel's family used to be a very happy one. That changed when their father started to abuse their mother. Their dad never allowed Carlton and Chantel to eat fast food, so their mother would always sneak it to them because she realized that food was their way of making themselves happy whenever their dad got angry.
Stopped eating because my appetite never stopped then. So I kept gaining a lot, and by the time I was 15, I was well over 400 pounds. And it got to a point so big, it was hard for me to do anything. So I dropped out of school and decided to get my GED.
Life really took a turn for the worst in Carlton and Chantel's lives. Carlton had to drop out of school because he had gotten so fat to the point where he didn't see going to school as an option anymore. He was always bullied, and he couldn't deal with the fact that his sister was no longer around. Chantel, on the other hand, also dropped out of college because her weight couldn't allow her to keep up with classes, and it made her sad because she was watching her future slip away from her very eyes.
Before our kids grow up, graduate, get married, this is the one thing I can't handle. I need her.
Things have to change because I don't want to be like this. I want a life.
Man, we can say that everyone has come to the realization that things have to change. Chantel's husband is worried that if Chantel does not do something about her weight, she won't be around to take care of her kids and watch them grow. Carlton also wants to live a better life. He wants to lose weight so he can learn new things and meet up with Monica, his girlfriend he has been talking to online but has never met in person.
I was so scared.
I was so worried you was not going to come. I'm letting you go.
I'm not going to lie, this has to be the cutest thing ever. Carlton and his sister have decided to pay a visit to the hospital in Houston to see Dr. Now. Just before they leave, Carlton's girlfriend comes to see him in the house, and he is more than excited to see her. She came to show him support and reassure him that things are going to go very well when he gets to Houston. It feels good to know that she loves him and is truly happy to be with him.
I just wanted everything to go
No,
well
stop,
today.
stop,
I
stop,
wanted everything
stop, stop. It's okay. Just stop, just stop. It's okay. What happened, Mike? What happened? Damn.
Sorry.
And the
Well, that went sideways very quickly. Carlton and Chantel have been on the road for a couple of hours now. They were driving down to Houston when Carlton's girlfriend hit her car, and it seems to be in pretty bad shape. Chantel's husband goes to take a look, and it looks like he is pissed at the way Monica was driving. The whole thing is a big mess, and it's starting to look like they might not get to Houston in time.
Thanks,
All right.
All right, my butt is off, babe.
I know. All right, I got you. I got you.
Ow.
Are you gonna help us? All right, thank you.
Okay.
Oh my God. It's my
Make
leg.
sure she doesn't fall, though.
Come on.
They're like super
Come on.
long.
Chantel seems to be in a very bad condition. After a chaotic drive down to Houston, Chantel and her husband make it to the hospital. The moment Dr. Now sees Chantel, he always knows that she is in a lot of pain. He gets her a wheelchair and immediately asks one of his nurses to take her into the hospital so they can see what's wrong and why she's in so much pain. I just hope her body isn't giving up on her.
I'll send a text or I'll call.
You text and call, you
Yeah.
need food.
Or he'll catch me at the door and ask me,
Right.
like, can you go get me something?
Yeah.
So that's what it usually happens. So I really do realize that
I mean, Dr. Now is not wrong. They have an unhealthy dynamic that's not making them progress. The doc tells Carlton and Chantel that they need to betray cutting down on their weight as soon as possible because they are not fat from being bedridden. Dr. Now also speaks to Chantel's husband, and he admits that he is in a way responsible for their immortality. If they all want to get to a healthier place, they need to make changes as soon as possible.
100 pounds to lose between both of you. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna run some tests. If the tests look okay, then you'll be able to go soon. Just remember everything we have talked about. Okay? All right. I'll be back.
This is not going to be easy. The doc already said that he has a lot of work to do with them. Chantel hopped on the scale, and she weighed 638 pounds. She couldn't believe her eyes when she saw those numbers. Carlton hopped on the scale, and he weighed 786 pounds, a few pounds away from being 800 pounds. Well, the doc says that together, they need to lose over 1,100 pounds before their body can start to function the way it's supposed to function. That's going to take a lot of work.
And I think I have a good chance at that number coming up.
Good job, Sharon. Good job, Sharon.
That number coming up fills me with a lot of pride because I know how hard I worked for that. So I'm really happy right now, and I'm hoping to see the same for Carlton.
Now that's what I'm talking about. Getting to this point was not easy at all. Carlton and Chantel went through so much work and effort to get those numbers. They had therapy and were going back and forth with the number of exercises. Now they've hit the goal they were given, and now they are ready to see if they'd make the cut for weight loss surgery. Well, let's see what the doc has to say about how far they've come.
Please, for 1 month from now, but you both need to keep losing weight. If your progress stops and you gain or you don't lose much, then we will cancel your surgery. You both got it?
All right.
Yes.
All right. Well, nice to see you guys.